That's okay. Land of one fish, two fish. Land of one fish, two fish. Land of one fish, two fish. And a redfish, blue fish. And a redfish, blue fish. All right. Getting an echo somewhere. Ah, there it is. Found it. Yo, Zek, how are you doing? Goldkish. What are we doing today? Well, Charles and Art were interested in seeing how smart content are made, but I don't see Charles or Art here. Goldfish. I figured it's something like that. So until they get here, I'm going to play around with making textures for the summer blush dress. That's what I'm going to work on today. Let's get this back up. Do I have materials set up? Ooh, actually, I got the dress materials. We need to do materials for the accessories and the shoes.
Chris, pay attention.
Hey, Charles, where are you at? You might want to take a closer look at what goldfish. Just chilling before heading out to work. All right, cool. In a couple hours, you might want to take a closer look. I have posted. I was the second one. Oh yeah, no. I'm confused, Charles. Anyway, Chris, if you don't have the time to do, no, we're going to do the smart content. We have the time to do that. I was ready to do that. I have got some workarounds so you can still use your program. Oh, well, there's that. If you're up for the watching the smart content now, we can do that right now. I am set to do that, and we'll do that with a couple. There's some products I submitted to Daz recently that don't have smart content. We'll do that for one of those. So I'll do that for what do we got here? What are you? What are you? You are. So here we go. We've got the Akvo swim outfit. It's not that hard. It's just a little tedious. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to just come down here to the people folder. And we're going to make smart content for the Akvo swim. So this is going to include the Genesis 8 and the Genesis 9 versions. And to get both of those, I'm going to start in the people folder, and I'm just going to create a new product, create product from. That's where we start with making smart content. So I'm going to say create product from. We're going to give that a name. Boo. it it throws me off when I do it because yeah, I know you definitely have what I'm using here. This is the content. This is just your content library. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the folder, the top folder for everything you want to make smart content for in this group, and then you're just going to create a product. So in this case, I'm going to want to create products, or you might need to do down in here, come down in here into the clothing, something like this. And we can create one for the Genesis 8 version, one for the Genesis 9 version. What you see he has something installed might be the best way to do it. So, I mean, so you select what you want to make the smart content for, and then we just create a product for that. Akvo. I can't spell swim suit G8 female, like so. And I accept that. And then what that'll do is that'll drop a blank category in the, where's my smart content? Right in here. So right now, so there you go. So it creates this. And this is in the smart content now. But there's nothing. Well, it does have some things because I do have stuff assigned. But if you don't get anything like this, you can do your own. So if it's completely blank or if these aren't in categories, you can always edit the metadata. So I'm going to just click on that. It gives me this option. We'll just do the edit metadata. And we're now working out of the smart content. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to add files. So I'm going to just add everything from a directory recursive. So I'm just going to add everything from this down. So all the subfolders will get selected, and it grabs all the files that it finds in there. Now it's a matter of assigning all of this stuff. I got a lot of crap in here. Hey, Quasi, how are you doing? So the idea is then to kind of assign these, and you can change the stuff that it automatically just kind of pulled in. And then once you have all of this, I'm going to pop over here to the assets, and then this is all the stuff we just found. And I'm just gonna be brutal. I'm just gonna clean all of this stuff up, and then we'll just reassign it all. So I'm just gonna go here and delete all the categories. Now there's no categories assigned, and then we just kind of go through each of these groups of files. And I'm just going to select, so I know what these are. These are all just my shaders. So we're just going to grab all of my shaders here. And then we're just going to come over here and assign those to a category. You can make your own, but I'm just going to stick with the defaults for right now. And then you come down into here and you pick what you want that to be. I'm going to call these shaders. I'm going to call these iRay. And I'm going to call that good. So I'm going to do that. This is actually a wearable, so we're going to make you a wearable. So I'm just going to say wardrobe, maybe swimsuit or something. Dang it, stop that. And I'm just going to say wardrobe swimwear because it's a whole outfit. You could just say outfits, but I don't know. You can choose what categories you want things assigned to, whatever is easier for you. And I'm going to accept that. Chris, do me a favor. When you finish the stream, send me a copy of the video. Yeah, we can do that. All right, simulation settings best. That is just a simulation preset. We're just going to add that. There's a default category for that. Simulation settings, there we go, accept that. These are hierarchical material presets. So I'm going to just set you guys up as, I think, materials. Something in here says materials. I think I'm just going to call it a materials wardrobe. Accept that. Camera is a prop, so there should be maybe a category for prop, assign default. Let's see, do we get props or something in here? Hey, look at that, it says props. You know what, I'm going to just call you props electrical. Camera clean. These are materials for the camera. I think we're just gonna, I just have 2 of those. So I can grab both of those at the same time. This is just going to be, I don't know, I think I might just get lazy and call it a material. Although we can further. Do I have a material array? Maybe an accessory. Is there an option for props? There it is, props. I want to do that. These are my generic shaders. These ones through here, so I'm just going to go down, and I know they end right about there. So for these, we will do shaders, and I'm going to say array, and I'm going to even go further down. There's this little thing here, utilities. These just change colors, so I'm just going to say color and accept that. All right. These things here are simulation settings saved as material files, so I'm going to make them simulation settings. So this, it's not hard, it's just tedious. that's the that's the problem with this. All right, and then what I got here, these look like colors for the swimsuit. Oh, those are also hierarchical material presets. So I'm just gonna set those up as a material swimsuit or something like that. I have already forgotten what I did last time. I guess array wardrobe. Uh, and you know what? I'm going to be lazy and I'm going to grab all of this stuff and just make them materials. These actually affect different parts, but I'm just going to make sure all of this stuff shows up in the materials. So do those. Come all the way down to right about here. I'm just going to set the default category for that to be materials, and I'm just going to say array, and I think I might maybe wardrobe. Yeah, I think we say it wardrobe. What the hell? Wardrobe. There we go. I'm going to accept those because those apply to the swimsuit. These are the actual wearables. And actually, I'm going to do them separately because it is a top and a bottom, and I think there's options for that. So if I do this one, we can come over here and say wardrobe. I think swimsuit, swimwear, and that's the bottom. Damn it. And bottom. And accept that. And then this is the top, so we can kind of do the same thing, but this time we can actually say top. Wardrobe, swimwear, and tops. Accept that. These are more hierarchical material presets, and I think, and that gets us to the bottom. So we're going to assign those to just be materials. Default. Oops. an IRA. I'm going to say materials IRA, and I'm going to say wardrobe for those and accept that. And now I've actually assigned everything here a category. And I think we're good to go. So I think one, I selected what files we want to group into our smart content for this. Two, we've come over to assets and then we've assigned it what sort of items these are, so that it'll show up in here in categories. And in this case, the first thing I did is I just cleared it all out and then I reassigned everything. And now I can just accept this. So hit the accept. It's going to say, hey, I've exported this. I've exported it to here. So let's go see it, take a look at where it went. And those ended up over here. I'm going to actually move these. You can move this to any support folder in any files that you're working with. So in this case, I'm going to stick it into the directory I'm working with. So the current runtime I'm working with is projects 05. This one right here. And what you would do is you would put inside the runtime folder, you'll put a support folder in here. I think it's support. Or in your case, you may just want to put this into your main DAS directory. So my DAS library, runtime. And then there should be a support in here somewhere. There it is. So this is where all the little files for smart content are when you install stuff. So you could just put yours in here. I don't know if you can use subdirectories in here or not, but DAS just dumps everything into this one folder. So if you have it in here, and so when DAS starts, it goes and it reads all of this stuff and it builds your smart content. That can be one of the reasons why DAS can be slow at starting. So, but anyhow, I have that done. I think we're good. We should be able to come back here. You can now see that all those categories that I just set up are now reflected in here. There's those simulation settings. You can give this a thumbnail so that it looks pretty instead of looking broken like that. And so you can make a little image. That would go right in here with the support files. And so like this PNG here. So in my case, how big are you? 114 by 148 is what it takes. I'm wondering what happens. I'm wondering what happens if I just take an image and just stick it in there. And what it is this is the name of this file .png. So we're going to do that. I'm going to do a quick experiment. So we are working over here. So I want to make a thumbnail to go with this. So what I need is you can tell that it takes a much bigger image. Okay. So I'm going to need a copy of that. Just going to grab, I'm going over my promos. And I'm just going to grab one of my promo images. Here, I'm just going to copy that over there. And then I'm just going to, can I just leave that as a JPEG? I think I saw something in that it was a JPEG, but let's find out. Can I refresh you? Oh yeah, look at that. It took a JPEG and it's larger. There we go. And can I rename you? Because you should say Starheart. Oh no, it's over here. Did I do the wrong thing? That star, what are you doing? Oh, I went to the wrong folder. Dangity dang it. I put the wrong information in here. That's the wrong one. Where were you? You're still probably in that other. I copied Starheart instead of the Akvo swim. And I think that's somewhere in a PA support. Let's find you. So D drive. I have my PA. I don't know where that went. You know, I can find it this way. If I do the edit the metadata, and if I think I can then just accept it again, and I'm going to overwrite it. I'm going to browse, and there's my problem. I moved to the wrong files. There we go, and then I can. Oops. I I didn't copy that. Dang it. I meant to copy that and I didn't. Oh well. I have another copy of that somewhere. Somewhere over here. There we go. And then I can just rename that to be this. So I'm just going to copy this. Paste that in here. This is a PNG now, but it worked with the JPEG. And then you pop back over to here. Come back over to here. If I refresh, is that going to update? Where's my refresh? It refreshed you, but you didn't refresh. What did, oh no, wait, is it down here? Where the hell did the refresh button go? I've lost my refresh. Dang, dog. Do I have to restart you to get this to work right? It used to be a refresh down here. Or am I getting... Oh, now it looks like it's refreshing. Right-click on your content tab. Yeah, that refreshes the content library. I thought there was a refresh in here. There we go. There we are. Now I've got the right thumbnail in for this. And then what I just did is in here. And if you screwed something up, you can just go back and re-edit it. Right click on the default. Okay, I'll remember that. So I'm going to cancel that because we don't need to do this. So if we just right click, oh, there it is. Got it. Oh, and now it's apparently it's updating because I opened up the edit metadata. Anyhow, that's the hard way to make smart content. And then this just goes in any of your linked support folders. So, I mean, for a product, I put that in with the product. That's why people exactly. That's why I was probably one of the few people doing it when I left Renderosity. Just for you, man. but then I went to Daz, and Daz does that. I will try to remember to send you that video after stream. Yes, sir. Anyhow, that's it. We have made smart content for this product, which didn't have any. If it ever shows up at Daz, it will come with smart content. But if I were to sell this at Renderosity, I would include this just for Charles. So that's the manual way to make smart content. Alrighty, and hopefully that makes sense. We can do it one more time, just to we'll do it for the Genesis 9 version, just as a. It kind of helps if you do something twice. So I'm just going to come here. Can I just create product from? Okay, so once again, so you start off by finding out the folder you want to make your smart content, and it gets everything in this, and we'll get everything in the subfolders. I'm going to create a product from this. I'm going to call this Aqua Swim Genesis 9. Suit Genesis. I'm just going to say G9. And then we're just going to accept that. And now we just pop back over. Did that not happen? I think I just needed to get it to refresh. I'm going to be lazy this time, and I'm just going to make everything a material. Um, there we go. And actually, you know what? I probably should rearrange these. Anyhow, there's the product. We're going to edit the metadata. So, and it does have some, and I do have some properties in here, so it picked those up and kind of assigned stuff to begin with. But I'm just going to clear all of that out. So we'll just go back, edit the metadata, come into here. I mean, you can fill this stuff out if you want. I'm going to add an artist. Me. um, all right, we're going to add from a directory like we did last time. I'm going to choose the directory for the Genesis 9. And then it'll pick up all the files in the subdirectories underneath that. So there we go. These are all the things we're going to assign smart content to. We'll pop over here to assets. First things first, I'm just going to pop in here. I'm just going to clean up all of this stuff and then we'll just reassign it all. But like I said, I'm going to be lazy. So I'm going to delete all these categories so they currently don't have anything assigned to them. When you get it from Daz, the Genesis 9 is usually under the same. Yeah, it is. And I would have done that, except if you're working with if you're working with stuff that's already installed, in my case, I would have installed it from people downward. But if you're in your main DAS file, you've got all your stuff inside people besides just my product. I think maybe we can just add the other stuff too, can we? Yeah, I would have to go. I would go up, and if I was really doing this, I probably would have just started from people and done both at the same time. And can I actually add the other directory? Maybe I don't know. Maybe I could have added both from here. It looks like I could. Then I could do the G9 and the G8 at the same time. Yeah, there's the G8 stuff. There's that all says G8. Did I? And there's the G9 stuff. So I guess I could just add the separate directories. I should have just done that to the other one. Anyhow, I can clean this up, can't I? and then read it. I'm just going to set this up for the Genesis 9. So add from directory again. Pop back over. Genesis 9. Just going to do that. All right. Pop in the assets. I think this is good. So I'm just going to select all of this again. And can I just control A that? Just going to make sure it's all clean. I'm going to be lazy and I'm going to call everything a material. But of course, you would want to assign it better than that. But I'm not running. I'm just speed running this one. And then I'm just going to accept all of that. I'm going to accept this. I'm going to browse to where it's saved. I don't see anything in here. Do I have to refresh? Yes, I have to refresh. There's the G9. We're going to take that over to where I was working and put that there. All right, I want to redo my... Here, I'm going to take this and drop that in here. And then I'm going to take this G9 text, copy that. I'm going to overwrite this. This is actually G9. And then I'm just going to take this, copy that. I'm going to overwrite the name of that one. And we'll just come back over to here. And can I refresh from here? There we go. So there's the G8. There's the G9. There are the files in the support folder with the thumbnails we made. Those I don't need, but that was my test from earlier. So anyhow, that's the quick rundown on how I've made smart content manually. Alrighty, let's. I'm gonna texture stuff today. We are back to Summer Blush. Last time we finished up the textures for the dress. I should make thumbnails for this. There you go. All right. And you're probably going to have to remind me a few times after stream to send you the file, because you know I'm already forgetting. God, that Chris is such a loser. Okay, D-Force presets. You know what? I'm just going to lose those. I'm going to rename you. What are you? SB. For Summer Blush Simulation Shaders. That I already renamed those. So today we are working on. Let's render some of the thumbnails for this stuff. And I think I've got a. Did we not start a thumbnail folder for this Summer Blush thumbs? There it is. So I'm going to say I don't need to save changes to this. I wonder if there's a way I can easily combine these. I don't know. I'm hurting my head now. Are you still thinking? You're still thinking. All right, there we go.
Chris,
You look.
pay attention.
What? What? Don't forget to send you the file. I'm going to try not to. Dude. Which figure? Those straight legs make me think. No, we gotta take a look over here. You are a Genesis 9. I want a Genesis 8 in here. I have a Genesis 8 in here. Let's take a look at that. All right, I'm going to reload the top just to make sure I've got the latest and greatest version. I'm going to hide that. I want to render that as a thumbnail. I want to double, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to apply my material preset for that. Just to make sure that is not an old version. So I think that's good. So I'm going to save that as a thumbnail over here. So let's do our render. And close that and do you. And come over to, we're still in the dresses folder today. So we're going to go to dresses, summer blush, people, Genesis 8, clothing, me, summer blush, and we just did the top. There we go. So I'm going to overwrite that one. All right, let's load in the squat. And come down here. I'm going to hide the top. Oh, I just put the, it doesn't make any difference. This actually, I applied that to the top, to the female. Let's do it this way instead. Is good. Now I can hide the top. Just going to make sure I have the latest and greatest material on there. It was a little different. Okay. That's why I reapplied it. All right. And we're just going to render that. That's the thumbnail for the, and then I've just got to resave this because the texture got updated. So do that. Come over here. Do this. Nope. Wrong one. Come over here. Overwrite that. Say yes. I'm going to resave this. And I'm totally in the Starheart folder because that's what I was trying to work on today. So back to dresses. Summer blush, people, Genesis 8, clothing, me, summer blush, and I'm overwriting the skirt file with this. And say okay. Replace it, yes. Looks good. Is fine. Is skirt. Reset the category. To skirt, shirt, skirt. There we go. All right, should be good. Okay, so I haven't done the materials for the other items yet, so we'll come back to those. Oh no, my library went wonky. Let me see if I can nudge my library back to proper health. Jay always warned me against having too many content libraries. I, of course, don't listen because I need that many content libraries. If 3 is good, 70 is better. Of course, now it's taking its sweet time updating. Oh, there we go. Here, over there, there, here. So it's some, so I still need to make textures for that, that, and that, and we just updated these. So let's turn these into thumbnails. So we're going to delete these two old thumbnails, take these and resize them to be 91 by 91. And then I got to clean the names up of these because the resizer adds garbage that I don't need. Do I have my template for this? There it is. I'm going to replace that stuff with this. apply that. Close this, pop back over to here and refresh. And there's our pretty thumbnails. Yay. All right, let's work on texturing this stuff. I'm going to load all of this into Blender, organize it, and I think we're going to do all of them at once. So that's the plan. So I'm going to just load this stuff in 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm just going to grab all of these. Actually, I got to double check and see what we've got here. As far as mesh resolution, is still base, 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 and base. Okay, we're all good there. So I'm going to export all of these together, except I want to give these colors. Yeah, let's do that here. All right, so I have these things called chords. Actually, you and you and you and you. And I'm going to come over here and just unified color theory, something like that. Content library. This is just a quick way for me to get colors on here. So you all are pink. I got pearl ones. Let's grab all the pearl ones together. Here's another pink. 2. You're a red. 3. You're a darker red. 4. Really dark red. Pearl 5. You got 4 of those? I got 4 of those. Orange. 6. I called that gold. That was neon orange. Because this one's going to be orange. And that other orange is a little too close, so we're not going to use it. Okay, so we're almost good. This one needs a color for the clasp. So I'm just going to make you brown. And then the shoes have got some extra material zones. So you're going to be, you know what? I'm going to make you yellow, olive, and neon green. So I think I'm good to export all of this. Let's do this. I'm going to export all the selected. Let's just make sure I still have everything selected. So I'm going to export that. I have to navigate back to dresses again. Here's my whip folders. These are substance. I'm going to use this for substance, so we're going to put it in here. Summer blush accessories. And I am running surfaces. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to open this up in the Blender and we're going to rearrange the UV maps a little bit so that we can work in substance all at once. I think I can get away with putting these on 3 separate UV maps. That should work. But let's see what it looks like. Also in Blender, I can save out a version that's smooth that works a little bit better in Substance Painter. So let's get you over here. Bye import. I haven't been working on this recently, so I got to navigate back to it. Dum 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 dum. Dresses, dresses, dress. There we are. So I want the accessories. This should come in with colors. It did. Let's go into UV editing. Select everything. It's all stacked up on top. I'm going to try to fix that. And something's broken. I might have to redo some stuff here. Let's find out. I'm going to leave the shoes on one, and I think I'm going to move the bracelets and the necklace over. So I'm going to deselect that. Let's get into X-ray. So I can select the entire necklace in one fell swoop. That looks fine. I'm going to move that one map over. So we're just going to do a GX1. That over. All right, let's take a look at you guys. Oh, you guys are broken. I'm going to have to redo these. Dangity dang it. All right. So I'm going to delete these, and we're going to rework these and redo them back into DAS. I haven't really done much with these other than just get them into DAS, so it's no huge loss. But I'm just going to delete those out. I'm going to put that to the side. We're going to open up another copy of Blender because we can do that. Summer Blush Jewelry. There we go. Let's take a look at, that looks like the Genesis 8 version of this stuff. So where am I with this? All right, I do have these separated out. Cool. Although, you are mucked up. So I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix one mirror and then save it again. Let's fix you. I'm going to remap these two. I'm going to map this in half so when I flip it, I can put the other one in the other side. Anyhow, let's go fix this. You broke it. I think what it is this stuff is still didn't quite come apart like I wanted it to. So I'm going to select that. Can I Alt H or Shift H? And then can I just UV map this? Like that. How are my seams set up? No, that's probably okay. Oh, I know. Before I was being efficient before. What if I pin you all? And then, nope. Can I do this? Nope. All right, we're gonna. I'm just gonna get about it here. Let's just unpin this and let's just redo that. I'm just gonna put that over there. And I want to just, if I do this, yeah, I'm just going to do it like that. What if I do it like this? Nope. All right, you know what I need? I need to add seams by islands here. Scenes from islands. There we go. And then I think if I do this, it's much better. My chords are a little janky, but that's. Let me see if I can do the chords separately and then scale them and then pack everything together. Let's try that. Man, I need to learn Blender. It doesn't hurt. It might not. There we go. That's better. I'm UV mapping you guys. I want to just do the chords. I'm going to select those. Especially animation. Yeah, animation is a lot easier, I think, personally, in Blender than it is in DAZ. It just feels harder in DAZ than it needs to be. I'm going to leave that at fixed scale. If I pack you, yeah, yeah, baby. Let me see if I can put you guys up there. Let me repack this. Does that give me any little... I'm close. I think I'm going to go with this. All right. There we go. That's the bracelets. Do I want to slack and just mirror these? No, I'm gonna here. Well, I'm gonna make some more little adjustments here. Oh, let's get you guys out of the way. Let's use a packing box. So I'm gonna put this in half, and then we'll put the other side in the other half. Let's use a custom target box. Hey, I got my target box all set up, ready to go. I'm just gonna pack you guys into the custom target box. Actually, I'm gonna shrink everything first, with the idea that hopefully it'll fit without me having to rescale anything. Okay, I can probably make those a little bigger. And let's see how that fits in. All right, that's I'm going to do that. So those are the right hand bracelets, and then the left hand bracelets will fit over here. We do our mirror. So we're going to come over here. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to pop back over here. We'll put a mirror modifier on there. And then right here, this one here tells me to flip the UVs on the mirrored side. So then I'm going to apply that, pop into here. Oops. I'm going to grab those, separate them. And actually, now if we come over here to UV editing, just double check. There we go. There's the right hand. There's the left hand. Okay, and I'm happy with that. So I'm going to reset these up in DAZ. So we're going to export these out. Pop back over to here. I'm going to re-export you. Use my DAZ modifier, so we're only saving out the selected. This is the bracelet, right? That is the bracelet left. Okay, pop back over to here. I'm going to save a material file for this bracelet just to make it easier. I'm just going to stick you over here in my garbage folder at the top. Yo, Art, how are you doing? Art, you missed smart content. It'll be in the VOD though if you want to catch that. Material preset. Save material preset. There we go. Bracelet. I got too many characters in there, but that's fine. Oh, I did do the... Remember, y'all, Charles may be streaming again. He's threatened us with it. So you want to see that. Trust me. You'll rewatch in a bit. Alrighty. I have to save the VOD for Charles. I'll trim it down to just how to make smart content in a rambling Chris Cox fashion. um, oh, while that's going on, let me just double check my materials over here. You know what? That's still good. That's still good. You know what? I don't even need to when we're done with this. You double dog dare him. Come on, dude. I definitely have too much content. That's the reason why this takes so long. There we go. All right, I'm going to delete these. Actually, I'm going to rename these and then delete them. Actually, I'm going to do this. Here, I'm going to do that. Control X. Now I'm going to delete them. And then we'll just bring in... And then, of course, I'm in the wrong folder because you always go to the wrong folder because Daz remembers. Dresses begins with a D, ends with an S's. Let's sort by date. Where did I just save those to? Where did my bracelets go? They're right there. Stupid Dad still has the wrong name or the wrong date on those. Let's bring the left in. Let's bring the right in. Let me see if my material file works. Hey, that looks like it's working. And I can export these out right now. So I'm going to, I'm going to export these out by themselves. We'll combine them up in Blender and send them back out again. Yeah, that's the ticket. All right, export. Bracelets. Let's do that. Is looking good there. All right, and then before I'm going to actually turn these back into wearable figures again. So we're going to use the transfer tool. We have a Genesis 8 hidden in here somewhere. I'm going to take that bracelet. We're just going to say full body and accept that. Going to do the same thing with this one. There's our invisible Genesis 8 female. There's the other bracelet. Full body and accept that. And I'm going to just save that. Is that the... Nope, that's not it. There... I'm in the wrong thing. There they are. There is that. So let's save you. Summer blush bracelet left. That looks like the right one right there. Summer blush bracelet. Did I spell bracelet right? I did not. Would you like to replace it? No. I want to cancel that because I can't spell bracelet. And I don't know. Suddenly I'm having a bracelet. Oh, it is spelled right. There is an E in there. Okay, never mind. You go right there. Excellent. Yeah, I want to replace that. This is Summer Blush. That is the bracelet LG8 female. Looking good. Let's change this to accessory. Arms. Wrist. There we go. And accessories, arms. You know what? I'm going to say lower on that one. Save that. Then we're going to save the other one out. And that's going to be the right. Save that. Place. Yep. Product is still Summer Blush. You are follower. Accessory. Arm. Right. Waist. Or wrist. There we go. Oh, I could have gone down arm instead of arms. Never mind. Oh well. And category. Um, there we are. All right, now we're okay. Now I fixed those. I'm gonna run over here, back to number one DAS or number one Blender. So I'm going to save this and close it, and we're gonna bring those bracelets in. And I'm going to have to reassign materials because, you know what? I'm just going to re-export all of this stuff out. We're going to close that and just lose it. So I'm going to do you and you and you and you, and we're going to re-export all of that. It's just easier this way. And override accessories. Say yes to that. Accept that. Should be good. I want to reopen Blender. Because what it's going to do is it's going to give those bracelets different material names. Blender's going to say, hey, I recognize that material name. I'm going to rename this one for you. All right? No, no, they have the same name for a reason. But Blender's going, no, I don't want to deal with that. Hey, thanks for that ban there, Charles. All right, import, substance, accessories. Let's see how this is looking. All right, let's pop into the UV editing. Let's look at this from the front. Let's zoom in. All right, we're going to switch over to the X-ray view. I'm going to select that. I'm going to move this over 1, GX1. Okay, we're going to grab these. We're going to move these over 2, GX2. And so now we should have everything on separate UDIMs. Oh, you didn't flip. What the hell? I gotta fix my shoes. Dang it. Why, I swear, I am having a... Ah, I can fix it here and it should work. Actually, we can fix it right here. We're gonna just delete that. And here, let's put a mirror modifier on this, kind of like what we did earlier with the bracelet. Hey, it's Rod Shelley. What are we doing? Generate mirror. There we go. We're going to do that same thing. We're going to flip the vertices on that. Control A. Tab in. Select all of that. There we go. That's what I wanted. I'm going to export this out. I'm going to separate these. Okay, now I'm going to export this and I'm going to update the shoes for Genesis 8. Do I have Genesis 8 sandals in here somewhere? Sandals G8. We're going to overwrite that. I'm going to be that bold. Pop back into here. I don't think I did anything fancy on those, so I should be able to just import. Oh, you still sandals G8. Where's my sandals G8? Where did I just save you? Where did you just go? Summer blush whip, summer blush sandals G8 female. That's what I'm looking for. Summer blush sandals G8. That's right there. 24 megabytes. Is that right? Oh, that came in with the necklace and everything too. Oh, let's try this again. I forgot to do the Daz thing. There we go. There's the Daz thing. That's better. That looks better. And then we'll just run the transfer tool on that. Nothing fancy with these. These are just sandals for flat feet, so I don't have to do any of the tricky stuff I have to do when making heels. So there's Genesis 8 female. There's those sandals. I wish I had a footwear option for Genesis 8, but I don't. So we'll just say full body and accept that. And I'm just going to save that out before I forget about it right there. Let's do this. Something in here say sandals, shoes. I should rename that to say sandals. That sounds better than shoes. I'm gonna call you footwear. Accept that. Alrighty. Now back into Blender. I think we're good on this. Tap in, select all. I think I made copies of some stuff I didn't want to. Yeah, maybe. Dangity dang it. Let's try. Let me get rid of those. Let's reload the accessories. Let's reposition you guys. Hide those. And I'm going to clean that up. All right, I'm good to go now. There it is. So that's what we're going to send the substance. Let me just make sure all my colors still look good. I think my colors still look good. Did my names get messed up though? Probably. It doesn't make any difference though. It probably does. It does. I'm going to save you all back out. I'm going to... I'm just going to clean all of this up. Can I just do it this way? This is Blender and Daz conspiring against me to make things harder. So I'm just going to try to clean these up before we export out. It's just going to be a little tedious work. It's easier to work with surfaces in Daz than it is in Blender. Blender is just a little clunky on this side of things. And none of you came in with the right names, did you? It's probably a clever way to do this. I'm just going to manually do it because I'm going to confuse myself otherwise, I think. That's where we are. Another gloomy errand day in KC. I'm sorry. Nope, that was supposed to be 3. That's 4. 5. 6. 7. Oh, you're on YouTube. That's why it doesn't work, Art. My bot's not hanging out over there. I think if you were posting from or from Twitch, it would recognize that command. Dang it, where am I? Right there. Someday I'll rework my bots to work on either platform, but right now they're just only playing with Twitch. I think I'm going to slowly migrate my commands over to the streamer bot. Am I looking at the right? Yep. Okay. Am I almost done? Maybe. No, I'm not. Soul Edge. Board. Pearl 1. Pearl 2. Pearl 3. I missed. Let's try that again. There it is. Pearl 4. It looks like there's a capital L on there, but that's not. There's an underscore. I was just freaking out going, Jesus Christ, did I capitalize the L on all the pearls? Not quite. Oh, that was supposed to be 5. Although that would be something I would do. Screw up a capitalization and then have to go fix 100 files. We're getting there. Soul top. Sole bottom. All right, I think I'm good. I think I'm ready to export this. Okay, we're going to do, I'm going to right click. We're going to shade smooth. Now we're going to file. And now we're going to export accessories. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to overwrite that. I got my materials. We should be okay. Then we're just going to do this one more time with no materials. And an M and export. Okay, should be good. All right, let's pop over. All right, finally we're getting the substance. 40 minutes later. And a few detours. Okay, close that. File, new, select, accessories with no materials. That's the one we want to open up in here. And is all this other stuff should be okay. So I'm going to say okay. There we go. All right, let's bake our mesh maps. Edit settings. Nope. I remember how to do this. Bake mesh maps. There we go. Bake. And you can see we've got 3 sets of tiles in here. So that's exactly what I wanted. So we are doing a UDIM just to save a little bit of time instead of doing each of these separately. Okie dokie. All right, we're going to bake our ID maps next. So let's turn you guys off. Select ID, do that. I'm going to get this one here with the colors. I'm going to load that in. I'm going to tweak these settings here to optimize the precision on that map. Also, I'm going to make this output size larger so I get more to work with. And I'm going to bake that. And it's going to do it 3 times for each map. Okay, we're good. Now we can come over to painting. And I'm going to just kind of zoom in here. And what am I going to do? Do I have a pearl material? And you are covering up chat. Stop that. I don't know. Let's find out. Pearl. You did a craptastic job of looking for something with pearls. There we go. What are you? Let's roll this up so I can actually read this stuff. Sensitive content. It's a bone. Stucco white. No. White marble. No. I'm probably just going to have to do the pearls in tweaking things in DAS, probably with no maps. But, you know, the stupid. Because cool textures like that are a little beyond substance, honestly. I might just put like an ivory beige or something on there if I can find something. I was hoping it had some sort of janky pearl. Maybe just a white granite. I'm going to come back to that. Remember that white granite. I'm seeing if there's something else though that will work. It's kind of a stand-in. I'm probably just going to go with that. One of the granites maybe. Because something that's actually pearl is beyond satin paint. Maybe satin glossy paint. I don't know. limestone. I'm not exactly sure how to get a good pearlescent looking thing in DAS, so it's probably going to look like just shiny plastic. I think I'm just going to go with a green marble. Yeah, we'll just do that for the pearls. So I'm going to hit download on that. I'm going to use a. Do I want these to be gold? Well, anyhow, let's just drop you onto that. So now we just have that on there. And I'm going to change this to triplanar to get a smoother looking. And we're going to tile that up a little bit. Maybe not that much. Maybe something like that. I'm just going to apply this to all the pearls. I think we'll do that. So we'll pop over here, come into here, and I'm just going to just click on all the other pearl. Oops, that was the one I already had. I should need to do this about 6 more times. God, everything's cramped in here, isn't it? All right, that's going to just be the generic placeholder. And this should be on all the other. So we should even see these on the shoes. Yep. All right, let's find a rope or a cord or something. What do I got over here? Here we go. Now I can see that search. Rope. Oh, there was that weird cord. Here it is, this climbing rope. I'm going to change those, but that's kind of the texture I'm looking for. And I'm going to stick it on here and see how that works out. And then I'm just going to double check and see if that actually applied to... That did apply to these. Okay, excellent. I can't really see them in between here, but I can kind of see them on the shoes. So I'm going to adjust it on the shoes. I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to say triplanar on that as well. And maybe make it even smaller. Okay, and then this has got a ton of colors. I'm going to make these colors about the same. I think I'm going to do shades of gray, and then I'm going to use a hue and saturation to change the colors on those. So just put you over there. Put you like that. Put you like that. So that kind of gives me a base chord. Put a hue and saturation filter on here so we can kind of play with that. Add a filter. Click over here. Oh, I might need to change those to like a red or something. Where's my hue and saturate? There you are. Cause it's gray. I guess I can kind of. Yeah, I'm gonna actually switch that over to shades of red. And then we can adjust it with hue and saturation. It'll let me get more saturation out of this, I think. I don't know, maybe if I make you darker, lighter, no, it gets a little washed. So we're gonna tweak that. I'm gonna make you shades of red. I'm not seeing you. Oh, it's because I have the hue and saturation filter on. That's probably what's going on. All right, that's good. And then I can adjust this because my saturation kicked up all the way. I'm losing all the. There we go. That's much more interesting. And then I can just tweak the hue. I kind of want a gold. I think I'm going. All right, let's put some materials on here. Something here, something here, something. I don't know. Wade. Let's put a suede on there. Let's tile you up. Gonna be fine. Let's put like maybe a rubber down on the bottom. Plastic canvas grain. Let's try that. I should have set that to be a different material than. Oh well. Do I like that? That's fine. You know what? I'm just going to put that on the edge as well. Yeah, I think that's going to be my sandal. Something like that. Although I'm going to lighten this up from a black to like a tan. I think I'll go with that. Okay, this is the base color, and then I'm going to recolor all the pearls, I think, in whatchamacallit. Oh, wait, there's a clasp on here. I should put a metal on that. Not that I can see it from here. There we go. So we'll put a metal on you. Why are you? You look like you're the climbing rope material. You did become the climbing rope material. Probably means my. I have to adjust that. Did that? Are you a separate color? You're the same pink as the other one. Bad boy. Oh, you were supposed to be a different pink. We can fix that. All right, Blender. I think somebody accidentally made his clasp a cord. Let me see if we can find it. Cord pearls, cord pearls, cord pearls. Probably screwed up somewhere in here or here. Maybe. Oh, you're probably clasp. I bet you. I bet you. I bet you. Let me see if we can take a look. In layout. There we go. That works. Okay, I'm going to resave this then. F6. I'm going to do the one with the materials. I'm going to overwrite this one here. We're going to rebake the ID map with the new colors. So we're going to come back over into here and bake mesh maps. And baking the IDs was the last thing we did, so we should be able to just redo that. Reload this back in. I don't know if I have to reload it or not, but I just do it just to be safe. And bake that. Okay, did you... I can't see the ID map because the thing's in the way. Let's take a look over. Let's go back to painting. I'm looking at ID maps. Why don't I not get my ID map there? Why do you... did you not... Did I not save you right? It's like I baked my ID maps wrong. Wow. Wow. Oh, I didn't save the materials. That's why it didn't work. Let's try this again. All right, that looks better. There we go. That's better. This time it got the colors. And now when we come back over to painting and switch back over to materials. There we go. It's white now. Okay. I'm going to go just put a little gold or something on there. Pop over here. Let's just use this. One of these. Come on. Come on. Show me the previews. I might be running out of memory. There we go. Yeah, I'm just going to use this gold armor here. Just drop that right on there. I'm going to call that good. All right, we're going to save these out now, and we'll set them up. Actually, I think I'm going to change the color of this. And maybe I will set these up. We'll do like, what is a nice summary? You know what we're going to do? Let's take a look at this. And what options do we get? I just get one color option with this thing, right? If I change you, does that actually change anything? It does. We're going to be clever. We're going to use the Fashion Week colors on the necklace. So we're going to set up one of these for each of these pearls using Fashion Week colors. We can recolor them later, but this is going to be my starter color. So basically, I'm just going to... Here, let's come into here. I'm just going to clean up most of this except for one, and we'll just redo. And then I'm just going to duplicate this 7 times, or 6 more times. Duplicate layers, duplicate layers, and duplicate layers. That gives me the 7 I need. So, and then we'll just come through, pick a color. That looks like that color. So what I'm, arc. That is that color. So what I'm going to do is pick that color, get rid of that color, move to the next one. Pick that, nope. I'm going to pick that color, get rid of that color, go to the next one. I want to do this one right here, so I'm going to pick that color and lose you. Moving along. You got 3 more to do. Pick this. Don't use that. I think I'm... Wrong one. Pick that. No. Pick that. There we go. I'm one behind here. All right, we're good. There we go. Then I'm going to just change these and I think we're going to try to be clever. We're going to go back to the uh, spring, summer, fashion week color palette 2025. There we go. Color trends 2025. We're going to use these. We're going to use 7 of these. So I'm probably going to. That's boring. We'll probably use. Well, I've used this. I think this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Or maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We'll use those. See how that looks. Try to keep those 2 greens apart from each other. So let's start. Actually, I'm gonna put you up here, and we're just gonna do this. We're gonna come over here, and I'm just gonna do this in sample, and that's gonna change that, and then we just go to the next one and do the same thing. So we're just uh, using the eyedropper tool to come over here and click on these colors. It's hard to see here. Let me arrange things so you might be able to see this on stream. There we go. And I'm going to try to do that so we can see what we're doing here. So I got this one. Let's come over here and get this one here. So eyedropper tool, do that. And that changed. These are getting kind of washed out. But I think this will be fine. It'll be fine. Then we just go to the next one. And I wanted this color next. Then we'll come over here. I'm going to grab that other greenish color. Come over here where we were on that Deja Vu blue. I'm going to do Misted Marigold. And the last one we're going to do that Orangeade. All right, so those are the colors I'm going to use as my just defaults. I don't know if I'm going to keep these or not, but I think it's a good start. All right, I think I'm good with this. I got to save this. I'm going to put you back over here. And yeah. File save as. Save as. Summer blush accessories. And then we're going to save these out. Control Shift E. Hit the wrong button. There we go. Let's try that again. There we are. All right, we're going to do, there's a preset for this. We're going to do 5 channels and the UDIMs. Because we're going to set out separate maps for the necklace, the bracelets, and the shoes. So let's hit export on that and let it do its thing. And maybe not. Maybe it won't do its thing. It's thinking about it. There it goes. It did something. I think it did a set. Do I have an export folder open here? I do. Do you got anything in here? Okay, there's the shoes. So we're going to rename this 1001. We're going to call those sandals. It's done with the second one. Refresh that. So this is the necklace. And we're done. So I should have a bracelet in here. There we go. Bracelet's really small. You know what? I might Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay. These are good. All right, let's do some renaming. So these 1001s are going to become sandals, so we're going to rename those. Name. Yeah, yeah, that's right. It stopped right in the middle there. 1001. Excellent. I'm going to say sandals. There we go. So it becomes accessory sandals. Actually, do I want to just swap out accessories sandals? Let's get rid of accessories on the sandals. And we're just going to call these sandals. There we go. That works. And then these ones right here will become necklace. Looks good. And then these ones will become bracelet. I think that's right. Okay, so we're going to say, let's move these over to the DAS folders. Cut those. Let's find a home for these. Oops. Doot, 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 doot. What are you doing over there, Daz? Get back over here. Daz tried escaping. Daz is being bad. Daz is a bad boy. Bad Daz. Bad, bad Daz. Okay, summer blush. You know what? Summer blush accessory. You know what? I'm just going to do this. New folder. I'm going to put, actually, let's put the sandals in a separate folder. And then I'm also going to make a folder over here for jewelry. So I'm going to just pop back over into here for and grab. Why do you still say 1003? It's almost like I didn't rename you. Let's try this. Can I cut you all? I can't. I'll have to do that later. Cancel that. Hey, there's a rod command. I need to open up that. I got to rearrange my textures a little bit here. Apparently my bracelet didn't get renamed. Because I was a bad boy. Okay, that is the... Let's rename you guys before I forget. Oh, I know. I didn't make that a 3. There's my problem. There we go. Okay. There is the necklace. Why do I have that in here twice? I don't need that in here twice. Why do I have... Did I somehow accidentally copy everything? Oh, I know what I did. Buy lots of stuff. Make Rod famous. Yes. Okay, there we go. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I did my rename poorly. Let's try this again. Yeah, you're supposed to be bracelet. I forgot to type in bracelet. Is that better? There's bracelet. There's necklace. Do I have 10 items selected? I do. Let's move you over to the jewelry folder. Why do I not see my jewelry folder? Because I did an undo. Let's cut you. Let's come over here. Let's rename you. And paste. Okay, now we can do some stuff here. So, any material file I make for the necklace will also work for the bracelets because they have the same names. And the necklace has one extra material. So I can just make a... I can just do that. So let's set up... So we're going to make a material file for just the jewelry. Oh, brain has stopped. Where's my scene tab? There's my scene tab. Let's come over here and select the... Where's my necklace? There's my necklace. Let's zoom in on the necklace. Let's do that. Let's try that again. There we go. Ooh. If you can keep the computers working, you'll be adding some new fun stuff on the Redbubble. The computers like to gang up on you? Damn those computers. I can do this. No, we got to do these separately. And that's right. I can't. I can't. We're good. We're good. Let's do this. Put that on. Nope. Come over here. Select all of this. Apply the base shader. Let's do... I do have metallicity. Let's come back over to here. And let me... I don't even need to see these. There's the metallic. So I can I drop you on there? There's my necklace base color. Shoot right there. There is the height map. I'm going to put you over here on the bump. Although really, I probably don't need that because it's so small. There is a normal map. There's probably nothing really going on there. I may end up just deleting that out. Here is the roughness map. Put you here in the glossy roughness. Should be good. I want to actually see the clasp. And you know what? We're going to put a... I'm going to resave this. So we're going to do a couple of things. Pop back over to here. Put you on a Genesis 8. Yo, is that DJ Ray? DJ Ray, ready for the party, baby? All right, fit to Genesis 8 female, accept that. Come over here. I'm going to just convert to sub D. All nice and pretty. I think I'm good to go. I'm going to run a little render here just to see how it's looking. Oh, I got teeny window. That's looking okay. I'm going to play a little bit with the top coat. Oops, we're too close. Too close. I'm going to switch this over to iRay. And let me see if I can make these a little sheenier or something. So pop over here. I'm just going to grab all the pearls. I'm just going to crank that top coat weight all the way up. I'm going to leave that top coat roughness right there. And I'm going to put my texture map in. And I'm going to go with that. All right, we're going to save this. And I'm going to render. I'm going to turn my lights off. They're blowing this out. I think I got my lights turned on, right? I do not have my lights. You're just plain getting blown out by that light, aren't you? Probably because let's take a look at my surfaces again and see if we can dial that around a little bit. Save, save. I okay, we have saved. Surfaces. Actually, let me come over to render settings and just double check my. Set you back to 13. You know what? I think I'm going to go with that. So we're going to save this as the necklace. This is for Genesis 8. Should be good. I gotta set my categories though. You are an accessories for the neck. I'm gonna make you say you are an accessory for the neck. Accept that. Should be good. Let's do a render. I just got tea today. The iced tea. All right. And that goes right there. All right, let's do the bracelets. Them I can do together. I'm going to turn this off. You know what I'm going to do? Am I done here? Have I hit save? I'm going to hit save on this. I'm going to put you away. I'm just going to pop into here. I'm just going to steal. I'm in the wrong. Come right there. I'm just going to copy that and I will swap the maps out. So I want the bracelets. Are my bracelets hidden? No, there it is. Okay. I can see some of those weird little lights I have in here, though. I'm going to do that. And then we're going to, let's do this. And update these maps. I need to take a look at something here. All right, that's what I thought. Okay. I heard a noise. Yo, Acellus Australis. Rating from what I'm going to assume was the best garden in Scotland. Everybody, give Acellus a follow. Hang out. Look for the bear. How you doing, buddy? Let's switch you back to... No, let's switch you back to default camera. Yeah, default camera. All right, I got to update these maps. So, I want that map there. I want that one right there. You get to be... Bracelet roughness is there. Top coat color, I'm just going to use that bracelet color. Doing good, thanks. Yourself? I'm doing well. Working on texturing stuff today. Uh-oh, it's past 4. I'm going to finish this up and call it a day. I lost track of time. Imagine that. I got a few more maps to do. Glossy roughness is done. Base bump is going to be this one here, which is probably nothing. Base normal map. It's here, which is probably actually nothing. I already updated that. I think I'm good to do this. So we're just going to resave these two and call it a day. And I'm going to save we're going to do the renders. And then we'll be back tomorrow night for something. I don't know what. Maybe it's a country girl night. I'm still trying to finish the Rocket Gal outfit. Here, I'm going to hit you. You are the right bracelet, so let's do that. You are the right bracelet. You go there. I think this is good. Arm, right wrist, category, accessory, arms, lower, accept. All right, let's do and then let me do a render on this since we're looking right at it. I might tweak these settings a little bit. We'll see. Save that. That goes right there. Okay, then I'm going to come over to here. I'll save this. That's the wrong thing. Right there. Going to save that. This is the left arm. I'm going to tweak that to say arm. Arm, left, wrist. And this will be just arms lower or something like that. And accept that. Looking good. Let's do a render. Let's save you over that. Okay, do I have this up in my... There it is. I think it's over here. Okay, we're gonna... What are you? Oh, you're the shoes. I haven't done the shoes yet. I still have to put the materials on the shoes. I'm gonna do that later. I'm gonna get rid of these. We're gonna resize these to 91 by 91. Make copies of those. Do that. Wait for my thumbs to come in. Select that one, and that one. Rename them so that Daz will recognize them. So I'm going to change that pattern to this pattern and apply that. Close this, pop over to Daz, come over to the content library and people, do a little refresh. There we go. All right, we've made some progress. We got colors on our jewelry. We have the textures done for the shoes, but we have to set that up. And we have the dress set up. So coming along nicely. This is where do I have a top in here somewhere? So here's where we are today. We've got a necklace, we've got bracelets, we got a top, a skirt, and shoes. And I have Daz not doing anything. So we're going to leave off here for the day. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Raid Spooky Kit. Who's Spooky Kit? I don't think I'm following a Spooky Kit. We'll check it out. We'll check it out, Ray. Hold on. Hey, everybody. Make sure you're following CS Bond. He's contemplating streaming again. So if he does, you do want to catch it. So where am I? What are you? Which browser are you? That looks like my Twitch. Let's bring you over here. Let's find this Spooky Kit person. Spoopy Kit. Spoopy Kit's a partner with 321 viewers, Ray. 221. That is like 220 more viewers than I want to be seen by. Yeah, I generally don't like to raid people with that many viewers. I is shy. We're gonna find somebody with a lot fewer viewers. Next thing I know, you're gonna tell me to raid Nutty. Amaranth has that restraining order against me. All right, I'm going down. We're working our way back up. And I'm seeing, how about Blob Ross? Or Asian Bunny? Wait, don't you live with Asian Bunny? Does she stream? Joking. let me just check and see if I missed something else in chat. I don't think I did. Andy Boying. Is that an art streamer, Ray? You're trying to get me to check out DJs now? We could do that. He's a musician. All right, we'll do that. Him and his wife. He's got 18 viewers. That works. That's a good number. I like that number. We're going to do that. This is a person I am not following. So, of course, I've got an ad. Andy Boyne. Music for everybody. Piano solo today. Exclamation point song list. All right, let's do this. Let's go over there and say hi. So I'm going to do a little shout out here. Here's where we're heading. We got the raid calls. If you're not a subscriber, you can use this raid call. And this is for the people on Twitch. If anybody's still watching on YouTube, you want to pop over to Twitch and join us on the raid, that's cool. If not, thank you for watching on YouTube. I appreciate that. This is for the sub raid. If you're a sub, you can use the cool sub raid emotes. We're going to do that. So let's do. Hey, are you in the Discord? Feel free to join. If you post stuff in the gallery, we share it every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Yep, I'm watching my A. Everyone would like a red herd. Hee hee. Asian bunnies gardening, hence in the iPhone. Oh, okay. Anyhow, let's do this. Let's get this raid going, and let's come over here and say hi to this person. Let me do this. Let me bring. Actually, you're up right here. Can I just do this from here? That is not my. That is not my chat. I probably shouldn't post in his chat the raid call, right? That would be gauche. Slash raid. Can I control V that? Okay, there we go. The raid has been started with 6 viewers. Hey, thank you all for being here. We will be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. for more 3D stuff. A heck of a lot like this. Hey, tell her I say howdy. And so let's do this. I'm going to copy my raid call, which went by way up here, and Control C that. We're going to move this gentleman over here, and making progress. Tomorrow I'll get the shoes done next. Those are getting a little washed out. I don't know. I'm going to play around with those. That probably not the final look for that stuff. Anyhow, thank you all for being here. Back tomorrow, 7 p.m. I hope you'll have a good rest of a Monday or Tuesday for those of you on the happy side of the planet. And hasta la vista, baby.